Hi, this is Edwin from Metalite. You're watching CMS TV.
The name of the band, Tidal Wave. The name of the tune, Blueberry Muffin.
All right.
Kind of reminds me of Fireball Ministry, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Although that name is terrible. Yeah, but that name, Jesus.
Yeah. Tidal Wave with Blueberry Muffin.
All right,
and then let me see here. We heard some Megadeth there with In My Darkest Hour. That's for Sal in the chat room. And we heard something from some old school Exodus with what is it? From the Pleasures of the Flesh album with Brain Dead. That goes out by request to the Hairless Wolf. He says it's Chuck from North Carolina. Tonight it's going to be Brain Dead by Exodus from the Pleasures of the Flesh album. And I'd love for this one to go out in honor of our esteemed president. Thought it was appropriate.
All right.
So
very good.
That goes out to the ever competent Joe Biden.
That's right.
So our fans are making requests for the president.
Well, that's good. Everybody should support our president. Never mind.
So, there you are. All right. Now, I have some stuff, unless you have something that's more pertinent.
I just want to touch this one. It probably won't take 15 minutes because you're not a fan, but
have at it.
Have you been following along with the saga this week of the WWE?
No, I have not.
All right. So it's been an incredible week and an incredibly, unbelievably bad week, all in the same week for the WWE.
Okay.
The incredible, you know the show Monday Night Raw, whether you watch or not, you're aware of it?
I'm aware of it, yes. I know it's a big event.
Yeah, it's been on for 30 years every Monday for however many, like 2,000 episodes.
Probably one of the biggest reasons I know of it, since I'm such a fan of the old O&A shows.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Roberts on O&A.
Yeah.
He's a big WWE guy, and he often talks about WWE Raw.
Yeah, well, he works for him now, actually.
Does he?
Yeah, he works for WWE, too.
I was not aware of it. It's very appropriate because the guy loves that shit.
He does.
That's his passion in life.
Mm-hmm. Well, Raw is kind of, there's two shows, really. There's Raw and there's SmackDown.
Okay.
Raw's on USA Network. SmackDown's on Fox.
Okay.
They've been negotiating their rights deal for the shows. And there's a third show called NXT, which is like their minor leagues. That is also on USA. So they negotiated, they sold SmackDown, the one that's on Fox, is moving over to USA Network in I think 2025. And then NXT, the minor league thing, is moving to the CW network. Now, these are for fairly big amounts of money, like money that starts with B's, not M's.
Okay.
We're talking billions. But then it was announced on whatever day, Thursday or Wednesday or whatever, Netflix bought Monday Night Raw, so it's only going to be available streaming for $5 billion.
Wow.
$5 billion.
All right.
Over 10 years, so $500 million a year for 10 years to carry Monday Night Raw live on Netflix.
Okay.
So that's obviously a huge fucking stroke of money coming into the WWE, right?
You think with the B in front of the number?
Yes. $5 billion.
No, that's a shit ton of money.
It is a shit ton of money.
I mean, well, before you get into this, and this is just just an observation. What used to be obscene money years ago was in the millions.
Sure.
But now that money in sports, especially sports, is now getting into the billions, does that money still have the same value that it did, say, 10 years ago if they struck the same deal for X amount of billions of dollars?
I would say no, but at
Yeah.
the same time, $1 billion is still $1 billion.
Well, I agree, but the thing is let's just say any one of these sports. I mean, who's this? We talked about this a week ago or so about one of these baseball players who what was the money that
Shohei Ohtani, he got $700 million.
Okay. And 700 million, but I remember 20 years ago when A-Rod got 200 million.
Oh yeah.
That was just obscene.
We were like, this is fucking going to ruin the game. And
now
it kind of did. But
and that's 4 times as much.
Yeah, or 3, but yeah.
Well,
yeah.
3.5. 3.5.
No.
2, 4, 6, 8. 700 million.
Well, he got A-Rod got 250.
Oh, I thought it was 2, but
yeah, A-Rod got 250, so it's like 3 times because Ohtani got 700 million.
Yeah, so my point is that we were saying, holy shit, $250 million, and now this guy gets 700 million.
Yeah.
And it's just like, does it still hold the same weight? I mean, it's 700 million is a big number, but is that comparable to 250 million 20 years ago?
Maybe. I think it's all out of control though.
Yeah.
I think it's all I think what's going on is that these individual businesses are kind of in infancy stages, so they're overpaying for some shit.
Okay.
To be competitive. Like I'm gonna be, I watch wrestling. There's no secret about it. I'm a wrestling fan. I watch AEW every week. I watch WWE. As soon as we finish tonight, I'm gonna watch tonight's pay-per-view that was on the WWE network tonight. The whatever it is, the Royal Rumble or whatever.
All right, Chris Roberts.
Yeah, exactly. But I love wrestling. That being said, Netflix way overpaid for this product. Way overpaid for this product. Because they want to get into sports. It's the same thing that Amazon did. Amazon paid $10 billion for Thursday Night Football.
10 billion.
10 billion, which is why they keep raising their fucking prices and jamming in commercials and everything else.
Yeah.
Because they figured out they had their first season or two and they figured out they ain't gonna make that money. They're not gonna make their 10 billion back. Now, can Amazon afford it? Sure. Are they gonna lose the full 10? No.
Just Jeff Bezos himself could stroke a
could
check
write the check
for that himself.
Yeah.
And still not feel any pain.
Right. But as a company, you don't want to lose that kind of money.
No, of course, because you got stockholders. You gotta increase the equity of the company to make your stock portfolio worth shit. But nobody wants to lose billions of dollars.
Right. Exactly. But that's what they're all doing. They're all overpaying for these products to try and get a commanding space. They're basically all trying to get the commanding space in replacing cable.
Okay.
That's really what's going on.
And
Netflix
that's a worthy cause because cable is the terrestrial radio of television.
It's dead.
It's a thing of the past. Everything is now internet based. Everything is. I mean, look at us. We're internet based.
Yeah.
We're nobodies. We're not funded, but we put out a pretty goddamn good product. We got video, we've got audio, we got shows, we got, entertainment.
Sure. And Netflix, we come a lot cheaper than the WWE.
Right, of course.
Let me tell you.
But the point is that today's digital technology has lessened the overall cost to produce a show. I mean, we produce a show every week for the most part. And for for the amount of money that we invest, whether it's fan investment or my personal investment or your investment, it really comes out to pennies to a couple of bucks a show.
Of course, Jim still has.
Yeah, of course you
Jim
do.
still has rabbit ears on top of his big box 19-inch console
He still
television.
has a CRT TV.
Exactly.
He still's got that burn mark on the back of his wall where that big tube, that cathode ray tube, is burning the paint on the back of his on the wall.
He's still rocking the same TV his dad watched War of the Worlds on or whatever.
Right.
Just stop. And a VCR. What a fucking old man. Anyway. So that is what's going on. They're all trying to get ahead in the space.
Yes.
So Netflix stroked a huge check. $5 billion.
$5 billion. Who even knew Netflix was worth $5 billion?
Well, they got a lot. They got 100 million subscribers.
I know they got shit tons of subscribers all over the world, but holy shit, 5 billion expendable cash.
Well, you think about it, that 100 million. What, $12 a month?
I think it's 14 now.
All right, so 14, and then half of those are probably paying the family plan, 20, 25. It's there.
Well, I know it's there, but
It's
then
there,
they have to pay their overhead and
Yeah,
stuff.
they got to pay their overhead.
But
They have their,
regardless of that, Netflix was on its death's door
yeah.
just a couple of years ago.
Well, they've bounced all the way back.
And the weird thing about Netflix is that so many of the mainstream movie companies and whatever, either Netflix couldn't afford them anymore, or the mainstream movie companies were pulling their content from Netflix.
Well,
Now I see they're running all kinds of movies now, mainstream movies now.
They are. And not only that, this is going to be the year that you see a humongous shift, because a lot of those companies pulled their content. Like NBC pulled all their content from like The Office and stuff like that, came off of Netflix and went to Peacock. And Disney pulled all their shit and started the Disney Channel. And CBS pulled all their content from Hulu and Netflix and whatever and started Paramount Plus. But all those companies are in trouble now.
I know.
And they're all, it's widely predicted out there that at least two of the big ones are going to fail, are going to close this year. They're going to sell off. The big rumor right now, the next big one to go is Paramount.
Okay.
Lot of talk that Paramount is going to get
themselves
way overextended.
Yeah, of course.
And they're going to get folded into Cinema or Max. Not Cinemax, but HBO Max.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers Discovery.
Isn't that funny that HBO and Max was like two big separate competitors, and then they kind of joined, and now it's under the Paramount, and it's all this other.
Yeah.
It's just funny how these conglomerates just sort of like all.
They do, and I mean, if you really look at it, if Paramount gets bought up by Max or HBO, Paramount already owns Showtime.
Yeah, that's
so literally
the other one.
Showtime and HBO and Cinemax will all be under one company.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because, when you had cable, when you had to pay for individual channels, you had to decide which one you wanted. Did you want Showtime or did you want HBO? Or did you want Cinemax? Cinemax was a little more racy with their content. HBO was more broad with their content. Showtime was how would you rank them? I would say that it was HBO, Cinemax, and then Showtime.
I would flip Cinemax and Showtime, but
okay.
Just because Showtime had a lot of deeper dramas.
Okay.
HBO had better shows overall.
Well, yeah, but they had a broader content.
They did. They did.
Because they had sports. I think their biggest thing was the Wimbledon shit.
Well, there was that. They also had, boxing.
Yeah.
When boxing meant something, it was on HBO. HBO Presents.
So they had stand-up comedy, the stand-up comedy specials, mostly like George Carlin. And
Well, it was a big deal to get an HBO special. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Showtime was, you got Showtime? Well, they got like first run movies and shit like that, and then Cinemax was a little more seedy.
Yeah, the Red Shoe Diaries and all that shit. I don't know. I think that was actually HBO, but
yeah, but they had more seedy content. They showed a little more nudity.
Yeah. They had those, what do they call that? Soft core porn?
Yeah, soft.
Where it's like kind of porn, but you don't see the insertion. You just see the ass being slapped. Like you see the girl from the front getting banged from the back.
Right.
Yeah. Skinemax was good.
You got to see your titties.
Yes, you did see some bouncing titties in that
Right,
shows.
of course. That was back in the day, man, because
it was.
That was always the bragging thing. It's like, what do you got at your house? Oh, I got HBO. Okay, everybody's got HBO. Yeah, but I got Cinemax. Ooh, you got like the naked channels.
Yeah, when are your parents not going to be home?
Let's watch the naked shows.
Dude, I can remember my friend John, little John Purcell down the street. His family always had all of them from the time cable came out.
And at that time, that was like
expensive.
It was like $20 or $30
Yeah.
a month a pop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they had them all. So I can remember numerous times that we would be over their house, like playing football or some shit in the, in the backyard. We were 15 years old, whatever, 14, 15 years old, whatever. And we'd be over there and his dad died. So it was just his mom that was living there. And his mom would be like, I'm going to the store. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Yeah, we would run in there to fucking watch Cinemax. And we were always disappointed because there was never any of the good stuff at like 4:00 in the afternoon. It was always like a regular movie. And we were like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Right.
It's like, where's the whatever shows, the really dirty stuff.
Yeah, where's the naked shows?
Yeah, and then HBO, if we're going to get into all the fucking dirty porn stuff.
Right.
HBO had a way of faking you out. Cuz HBO would have like a show like Real Sex. Remember Real Sex?
Oh yeah.
And they had like 400 episodes of Real Sex. And you would watch it, you would turn it on because the commercials look like it's going to be all filthy and dirty and whatever. So I can remember doing this here in the house when Georgetta was asleep, sneaking out into this room where I had a TV that if I could see her reflection coming so I could flip it off because I was a fucking pussy, But I'd be in here watching like Real Sex. And then when you actually turned it on, it was like horrible. It wasn't like Real Sex at all. It was like, here's a guy that lifts weights with his nutsack, and here's a guy that fucking stretched his dick to be 3 foot long, and he did it by hooking it to a rope and tying it to his car and driving or whatever. It's like fucking like the weirdest, craziest shit. And it was like, there's no real sex to this. I want to see some fucking. So, I will say.
My nephew says nothing hotter to a 13-year-old than a Sears catalog and some Skinemax.
Dude, I tend to disagree. Sears catalog, okay. Cosmopolitan, top shelf. Cosmo was mom's Playboy. That's what it was. My mom always had Cosmo in the bathroom, and I can tell you I jerked a lot of juice out of my dick for fucking in that bathroom to Cosmo. In the back, they always had like they always had all them ads in the back, and they were all saying the same thing. Make your tits look wonderful with this bra or that bra.
Yeah.
And they would just show girls holding their tits, and they'd have nice fucking perfect tits.
Well, as far as like department store catalogs were concerned, my preference was Spiegel.
Spiegel?
Spiegel catalog. They were a little more explicit in their lingerie pages.
So you were spooging to Spiegel?
The
Is that what you're
Spiegel
saying?
catalog, yeah.
Yeah, man, those were the days.
some Skinamax. So funny.
Yeah, Sears was okay though. Sears had some good bra pictures, but
Right.
yeah, for me it was always about Cosmo because a lot of times too, and I'm not ashamed of it. When I was 15 years old or whatever, I was definitely jerking reading those fucking polls and stuff.
Yeah,
How to please your man.
Some polls for your poll.
10 tips to make him orgasm harder when and it would always be like lick his taint a little bit while you're jerking him off or what. You know, it's like crazy shit.
Yeah,
but it was word.
Chicks don't try that hard ever.
No, but I would be reading that stuff going,
it's like I brought the pussy. That's enough.
Yeah, well, that is how most chicks think.
I know. I brought the pussy. That's enough. I'm not doing anything more.
That's right. Yeah, dude, fucking. That's why they need to read Cosmo. Guys should have been more willing. You know, it's funny because I used to listen to my dad bitch all the time that my mom was reading Cosmo, and I was like, because it was too expensive. Because it was like $3 or whatever for a fucking Cosmo, because it was thick, so it was more expensive. It wasn't like 39 cents or whatever. It was like a couple bucks.
Yeah, 95 cents.
And I can remember my dad bitching about that, and I, at the time I didn't think about it, but now I'm thinking about it. I was like, dude, you should be encouraging her to read that. She'll fucking.
Yeah, but they never act on it.
No, yeah, well, they should though.
They don't want to please their man. It's just like, I showed up with the pussy. What else you want?
Yeah, but if they read it enough, it'll seem like it's normal. That's all I'm saying, is that if they read it every single month, and every month it's like, here's another way to please your man.
They read it, then they laugh at it, and then they go, like I'm going to do that. Fuck that.
Yeah. I'm not licking somebody's turd cutter. No way.
Sure, whatever. He's lucky he even got a piece of my ass, so, you know, that's enough.
Yeah. Not going to lie and say I didn't jerk to some National Geo either. Not the African ones, though. I'll tell you what, where National Geographics did well. They had a lot of naked chicks from like South America, like on the beaches of Belize and shit.
Right,
I mean, they would be really, really hot.
They had the Shakiras in their magazine.
They did. Dude, this is no lie, man. I was like 13 years old, and there was a National Geographic at school that had the nude girl on a beach. And I ripped that page out, and I had it and jerked off to it for at least 2 years. And then my mom found it. Like I was making my bed or something, and it came out from under the bed, which is my super secret hiding spot.
It just came out from under the bed.
No, it did. Like when I was making the bed, I accidentally slid it out. And I didn't realize that it was on the floor.
It just spit it out.
It really did.
Like an ATM machine.
Exactly. And I got busted. My mom came in my room to put clothes away or something, found this naked picture of this girl on a beach, a naked picture with half all the edges all crusty and stuff from my sticky hands holding it for fucking 2 years. And she fucking got all over me. What is this? What is this? I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, like you don't know.
Yeah, and then she's like, well, you have a girlfriend. Are you doing things to your girlfriend? The picture. I'm like, no, Ma, what are you talking about? Are you kidding? No. I just like the sand.
Right.
Too funny, man.
It is. Well, getting back to your point real quick.
Okay.
About the obscene amount of money for the WWE and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Are you waiting for me to say something?
Yeah, you were making a point.
Oh, okay. No, I was. Well, the point is that they got a lot of money. The counterpoint is, looks like they're going to need to spend some of that for some legal expenses, because Vince McMahon has officially been fired from the WWE.
So he got fired from something he started.
something that he built and sold, and he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, he's got accused of sexual harassment and all that stuff, right?
Oh, it's way worse now.
Okay.
The newest allegation, there's all kinds. I'm going to bring up the text messages and stuff as proof, but he's being charged with not only harassment, but trafficking. Trafficking.
What, did he go over on Jeffrey Epstein's island or something?
Kind of.
Yeah.
He had to, if this is true, and I want to stress full-heartedly, this is the story that's out there.
Yeah, it's allegations.
It's an allegation.
Yes.
But when you see the text message, it might change your opinion on the allegation.
Yeah, it's perception, it's allegation,
Yes.
it's, whatever you want to decide it is. It doesn't mean just because it's in the court of public opinion doesn't mean it's fact.
It's true, right?
It's whatever you think that it is.
Right. He apparently, there was a lady that he hired, pretty hot. He hired her just to bang her, really.
Okay.
And this is the story, this is the part that's been out there. But now it turns out that he was banging her. He was making another executive, John Laurinaitis, fucker. Then he was using her in negotiations to sign other wrestlers. Like the rumor that is out there is that he made her fuck Brock Lesnar while he was negotiating with Brock Lesnar to sign a new deal with WWE.
So how does one person go, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, okay, I'll bang this guy to close the deal.
That I don't know. And that's probably where Vince is that's gonna be his defense, I would assume.
It's bizarre. It's just like, how do you force somebody into that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly do not know. But so some testimony came out from a deposition.
Yes.
And it had a text message that Vince sent. I'm just going to put it on the screen and then I'll read it. I mean,
if it's out there in the public.
Yeah, it's out there.
So this isn't like,
no, we're not breaking any laws by reading this.
No, we're not breaking any news either. I mean,
no.
There. We're just discussing it.
Yes. But here it is directly from the deposition. RE, your last picture.
Why need your big black dicks?
Well, I don't know.
Why do they have to be black?
Because they do.
And it's capitalized.
Well, got to make sure they're big black dicks.
Okay.
You need your panties ripped off and 3 black dicks in all 3 holes at the same time.
3 big black dicks.
3 big black dicks.
Right.
In all 3 holes at the same time.
Pussey?
Oh, Vince isn't the smartest character in the world.
EY?
Way up your pussy and way up your ass as far as they will go, but even farther.
Okay, it's as far as it can go, but even further.
Guess you got to wound her.
Yes.
And the thickest cock goes down your throat, so it makes you gag and convulse as those big black cocks pound away.
He didn't capitalize big black cocks this time.
I guess these aren't as big. It feels like from the start you're being assaulted, but it's made you come nonstop.
Ooh, very hot.
Just one continuous constant orgasm, and just before you pass out.
Oh, she's gonna pass out now.
Yes. Those big black dicks squirt their loads of cum inside you. As you lay on your stomach, the cum is coming out of all of your holes. I'll turn you over and jack off all over you.
Boy, what a fantasy.
That is better than anything he wrote for fucking WWE in 10 years. That I can picture.
Well, see, this is where I have a problem as far as like people and their good sense or lack of good sense.
Yeah.
To actually text something like that to where
Beyond
it can be saved and be, held on to and used as proof. And it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Beyond stupid. It's unbelievable that he put that in print, in any kind of print. Or it would be unbelievable if he put it in a voicemail too. I mean, it really is absolutely crazy.
Okay.
It's just, he's in a lot of trouble.
Well, yeah. But it's just interesting where he decides to capitalize things. The U's are all capitalized. Do you notice that?
Yeah, exactly.
All of the U's are capitalized.
Well, he must use the word "you're" a lot, and I'll bet you it's his autocorrect just makes it a capital.
I don't even know if it's that or not. It's just everything is you. But again, this is just like some guy living in his own head, just imagining some scenario in his head, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just unfathomable that this is going on. However, and this is a new thing that popped up today.
All right.
So he did he's obviously been Mr. McMahon, the bad guy.
Yeah.
On TV. And there's a lot of really ugly sexual stuff that was done.
What?
On WWE, on TV.
No way.
Like there's one where he made Trish Stratus get naked in the ring and kiss his ass and bark like a dog and all kinds of crazy shit.
It's this kind of bondage type shit.
Yeah, which I love because Trish Stratus was so fucking hot. But, people loved it at the time as like a joke. But then there was this clip from 2007 of Vince talking to CM Punk. Now, this was an aired clip, so obviously they knew this was coming. But in light of where we are now, tell me this isn't some truth written into the script.
Yeah, well, again, there's always a shred of truth in every joke, per se.
Well, this is like, especially today, this is like unfucking believable. Okay. Check this out.
All right.
There's one other thing I don't do, Vince.
What's that?
I don't have dirty, unprotected sex with some money-grubbing skank who eventually files a paternity suit against me, which gets me kicked out of my own house. Yeah, it leaves me nothing but a living, breathing, national disgrace.
Ouch!
Wow. So this was a scripted thing
This was scripted, yes. This was from back in 2007. So there had to be some shit going on even then as well.
Well, I'm sure this has been an ongoing thing.
Oh yeah.
Not new, but
no.
It hasn't come to light. That's what it is.
Hearing this stuff, and obviously it's new. Is he another Jeffrey Epstein guy? Shit ton of money and just used it to fucking do horrible things to chicks.
Right. Well, again, when you have that kind of, we've talked about this a million times in the show, but money equals power.
Right.
And when you got that kind of power, you kind of push the limits to see, well, what can I get away with?
Right. I mean, how long is it going to be before we get a, one or two of these wrestlers saying, the only way I could get my contract renewed is if I sucked his cock.
Right.
That's got to be, that has to have happened, right? if these allegations are true. If
Yeah.
these allegations are true, he has to have made some of the hotter WWE women suck his dick in order to fucking get contracts.
Again, this to use an analogy, it's kiss the ring. Kiss the ring.
Right.
You know, I'm all powerful. I hold your destiny in my hands. So what will you do to, you know, advance or achieve or whatever, since I'm the one who says either yay or nay.
Right.
Is it yay or nay for you?
I know you have no idea who Goldust is,
I
but
don't know that.
that is funny. That's if you knew
All right.
wrestling, that's a funny joke.
All right. But it's, you know, I'm going to use a cliche. These people who have so much power and money and control the whole thing, it's just like they get drunk with power. It's like, well, what can I get what can I get this this midget to do for me? Dance, little man, dance.
Yeah.
You know?
Suck, little girls, suck.
Exactly.
Well, but this dude here, Vince would have probably got away with this. He made a payoff, a $3 million payoff. But then he didn't make the payments, which is why she filed the lawsuit.
Right, of course.
He made her sign an NDA and made her and was supposed to give her $3 million as a payoff for this. And then he paid her $1 million and stopped. What a fucking dumbbell. Why wouldn't you just pay her the other $2 million?
This is an ego thing.
I guess.
It's like, I'm not going to be held hostage by this little cunt.
By this peon, yeah.
Yeah, fuck her.
But yeah, dude, this is just like, what do you think Netflix? I'm going to go back to Netflix for a minute. This came out the day after the Netflix deal. What do you think they think?
Well, they're thinking we got duped. Because they knew that, you know, they I guess they could make the point like, well, this was known prior to us making the deal, and they kept it quiet purposely until the deal was signed. And now that the deal is signed, so we got duped into a contract with this situation, and now, you know, whatever. So it's under, you know, I know there's some kind of legalese with this under false pretenses or something like that, you know, or everything wasn't disclosed, or we weren't aware of, you know, the pending litigations that could have, you know, that was kept quiet purposely, you know. But again, that becomes a real whole legal wrangling thing, and that draws out for literally years. You know, and it's just like, well, we're willing to drag it out for years just as long as we got our deal signed.
Or are they in backdoor deals by Monday, working out something where they pay less, but they leave it announced as that number so that they get a bargain?
You never know what kind of a deal people are willing to strike.
Because I would think that that's got to be what's going on right now. They've got to be working. There's no way is Netflix going to just say, oh, well, you know, the company's name is completely stained right now.
Yeah, we're compromised now.
And it's not compromised by a wrestler either. It's compromised by the guy that started it. It's compromised by the biggest name in the history of not only that company, but that business. There's no bigger name in that business than Vince McMahon. Not The Rock, not Stone Cold Steve Austin, not Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon is the biggest name. And he is, and always will be, directly associated with WWE.
Yep.
I mean, for that matter, what do you think USA Network is thinking, or CW even? They've got to be shitting themselves going, especially the CW, which is almost family programming. I mean, that's where like isn't like the Superman spinoffs and all that shit on the CW?
Well, everybody's going to have to run and duck for cover and go, well, we disassociated with them 10 years ago or whatever. We're not involved with them. Yes, the genesis of this started with them, 15 years ago, but that was a long time ago, and our programming is not associated with that. We haven't been.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, and No,
I'm talking about these new deals that they have. They have new
Yeah.
deals for SmackDown and NXT. I mean, do they cancel them? I mean, it's truth be told, wrestling fans couldn't give a shit. I'm going to tell you, this isn't going to affect my viewing of WWE one ounce.
But it's public perception. That's all it is.
The question is, how quickly will it fade away?
Well,
Vince has withstood before.
It'll be determined as to how much the media is willing to beat that drum.
Yeah. And Vince might get away with it just because Me Too is fucking somewhat dead now. People are done Me Tooing now. That might also help. It's just it's unbelievable that this came out at this. It's kind of not unbelievable that it came out. It's unbelievable that it came out at this time. You know what I mean? The timing could not be worse for the company.
Well, I think whoever it is, the powers that be that are negotiating these deals, they're aware of the undercurrent going on.
Yeah,
and
sure.
They probably did whatever they had to do to hasten the deal to make it happen, because they knew it was just a matter of time that any minute now this could emerge.
Do you think, and I'm spitballing here, do you think they told him and that the $5 billion is actually less than they thought they could get?
I don't know.
Think they thought maybe they could get $8 billion and they settled for $5 billion, knowing that this controversy, and told Netflix in advance?
You never know.
Yeah, it's to me it's interesting. I mean, yes, I like wrestling, but
again, that goes back to the old cliche, the backroom business deals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just this is big business having a big problem.
I agree.
Crazy talk, man. But all right, well, that's all I wanted for WWE.
I wasn't aware of any of this. I mean, this is obviously your area of quote unquote expertise, as it were.
Well, that's what's going on in the world of professional wrestling.
All right. It's interesting.
Be interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, for people who are interested in that, obviously you are, and I'm sure we have a bunch of fans who follow that stuff as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You never know.
You never do.
Yeah. All right, this is what I propose. I propose we play a couple of songs.
Okay.
Come back. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 stories that I want to do a quick lightning round with. They're not long stories, but they're just kind of reactionary.
Okay.
And we'll wrap up the show.
Okay. Works for me.
So we'll do some just stupid shit that's going on in our society today, whatever that is. And these are more commentary, reactionary type things.
Sure.
Because it's just stupidity that exists in our everyday life.
Right.
So I thought we'd do a lightning round, cover like 4 or 5 quick stories, give our comments on them, and then call it a night.
Works for me.
All right. So would you like to hear something?
How about what are you gonna play? 2 songs?
2 songs.
All right. Honeymoon Suite, Love Fever from Racing After Midnight. Since I'm interviewing them, it's in my head.
Okay. Honeymoon Suite, huh? You said
Yep.
Love Fever?
Love Fever.
Oh, there they are. Honeymoon Suite. All right. Let's see here.
That's from the Racing After Midnight record from 1988.
Holy shit. All right. Love Fever?
Yep.
All right.
Track
All right.
4.
We're going to play a couple of tunes. We're going to come back. We're going to do some quick stories and wrap it up for the night. So,
Sounds good.
Chris is going to interview these guys, what, this week?
Monday.
And when will that be available?
Probably in March. I'm so backed up with
It's
stuff.
that far ahead. Okay.
Yeah, I'm way ahead.
All right. Well, apparently Honeymoon Suite is promoting a forthcoming release.
Forthcoming release called Alive. I don't know when it comes out, but
All right. Well, here's a Canadian band, Honeymoon Suite, with from the Racing After Midnight from 1988, which some of you weren't probably even born yet.
that's right.
And this is called Love Fever, exclusively here.
On your classic metal show.
The Classic Metal Show now has all of our videos on Spotify. Simply look up and subscribe to the CMS network on Spotify, and you'll get the audio and video podcasts each day from The Classic Metal Show. It's never been easier to listen to Neeley and Chris, so simply open Spotify, subscribe to the CMS network, and enjoy The Classic Metal Show every single day. Hail and kill.